Wow. That's for starters. JWoww of Planet JWoww, and ecstatic to be here with you. I'm I'm learning how to play my own game. I'm living this total recall life where I've said things for decades and I put them in writing and I put them everywhere. And they come from friends as part of their lives. And I recognize my me in their roots, which is where I love to be. I love to be. That feeds my ego. I have an enormous ego. And so I've learned to feed it off of doing good things for other people and having them be happy. And then when they're happy, I feel empowered because I know I did a thing that was good for someone. That it's just the level at which I get off on that in any culture. I'm just getting the globality of that fundamental way of being. This is the ride tonight, sweet ones. Okay. I'm the connections that so many of us have available to us because we either are multiples in some highly diverse way, diversive, because there's a diversality, and I'm getting it. I'm getting it, right? In a highly diverse way. Love you, Joe. Thank you. Right? Love that you're here, sweet one. For the first time in my life, I do not need a guardian with me most of the time. I'm 62 years old, and this is the first time since 1971. I mean, in 1971, God was assigning people to be my guardians, like literally, like going into their dreams and saying, "You are now responsible for Julie Woods," which is my birth name, and it's so funny to say my own name. I rarely say my own name. Until I get a handle on what JWoww is, I'm going to stick with that. And there's a dance inside a culture that deems it valuable for people to name themselves. That's part of how freedom is defined, by how many people get to name themselves and claim their lives that feed them and allow them to be in their sovereignty together. How many people can authentically hold that as their truth, right? I have talked about the things that are in my head because I really needed to see that there's a world now that can hear this and do good things with it. Not let it sit. I stayed alive long enough to see stuff happening. Want more stuff happening everywhere. So many people doing so many good things, and literally at the root of what they're doing are concepts, contrary septs, whatever a sept is. I'm going to get to that. I don't have that yet in my mouth, that etymology in my mouth, and that's the thing. It's a concept. There's a yesness to the can, the choose action now. There's a yesness to that. And for people who are like, what in the world is she, they, whatever that says they're talking about? What I'm talking about is literally a world that exists right now. I'm in it. I'm living it. I built it. It's fun. I built a living app. I mean, apps are cool. Getting to live them the way that you want, you know, there's a like, I don't want a world, I want a planet. I want a space where people can find their room where they get to ride the resonance of a global culture, There's lots of room in the world. There's lots of room on the globe. There's lots of room on a planet, especially when it's really this planetoid arc ship going through all these galactic adventures that are really cool and are simultaneously Evel Knievel and grandma delightful. There's a lot to everything for everyone, right? That world is a world that works with Harvard and works with the Pentagon. It's a beingness world that interfaces with other awakening spheres so that they're all of these lemniscates together. Thank you, Joe. Yes, Star System is just spectacular. I hope they're around tonight. We get to, yeah, there's that. There's that. It's bliss, and it's more accessible than bliss for more people, and having that inside of seeded into instead of only seduction, it's seduction. We get to see what we're seeding into our lives now and into our futures. So what we are living as the roots of our futures matters. There's the assumptive of continuance of life. All right, that's a good thing to assume. For the record, as cultures go, that is something to encourage in people. Star seeds, planet seeds, yes. And the planet becomes a plan net. It's made out of, and it unpacks into. There are all these plans and blueprints everywhere. I've left them everywhere for decades. No. Here's what's wild. Okay, that sounds absolutely insane. There are people who are looking and finding things. They're like, wait, I remember you had a doc for blah, blah, blah. I said, yep, I do. It's like, that's what we need now. I'm like, yep. It's like, we didn't need it then. Nope. So it's already built. It's like, yep. It is so much fun now. It was not fun when Spirit said, build this thing, and I was late. And I was late because I waited too long to figure out how to do it in one shot. I waited too long. I had to learn timing. I'm living this game that I'm talking about. I am so excited. I think people are starting to realize that I'm actually living the game thing that I'm talking about. Like, I'm in it. the reaching out to the world and the energetic. I stopped saying the 24-second prayer because I wanted to get me more clear, because when I reach out into the world, I can feel things. I am not an oracle, I'm an oracle. And I get to be that because Planet JWoww is where I live, because virtual physicality is my reality. When I'm friends with people who I've never touched, tasted, held in any way, in any one of my senses, they're real to me. I live with 23 other folks in my head that I didn't ever get to see until someone started taking videos of me. And then going back and looking at pictures and then seeing different ones of us being in pictures. And I always wondered why I kept looking at that face and going, that does not look like me. And like, people would literally not see me in a picture where I'm the only thing there. And you're like, who is that? Yeah, Matrix Levy style. Let's do the shine side. We all saw the nightmare. What if it's not a nightmare? What if we're the ones doing the thing with us and we nailed it together because we're working with the planet itself? I mean, I love the Mother Gaia thing, and that's great, and all of the make things and the mother things, and I love them, and they are there. There is the planet and whatever this science thing means, without any set gender. So it may have all the genders. And then there's the motherness of, got to have some incubator to make another thing. Got to have some incubation or splitting process to make another thing. So whatever that is. I'm going to lay out a thing that I want to have happen. I would really love it if we could flag or tag Rhiannon and Rainey and Linda, Joe, on this. If you could make sure that that we just hit him up in Slack and tell him at sometime around 12:40 forward. I'm just going to lay some stuff out in the world and then say, I'm talking to the global tribe. This is what I want to do. Please come play with me. Please come play with me. Because where I want to play, that power and love and agentiality and I'll get back to you about why. That play is for me. Inside good play is kind power. Power being defined as the ability to influence that which is not our business. There's a consortium of folks who have held that when the time came and I was fully open to doing things, because there's no the things, there's things, that they would feel it and they would come. And I now trust, because folks have come, I now trust that across the 4 M's. Oh, I'm going to tell the story of my life as I live it. I'm literally going to write the book of my life out loud right here for the world. And we're going to figure out what the reciproconomy is. And everybody's going to have fun. And we're going to take care of all the things. So the 4 M's. So I get to be delighted and delightful across the 4 M's of my planet. I am being accountable. When I put my name on it. This one's Planet JWoww. People come here to play are here to play JWowwness. If they want to play something else, they can play something else. Maybe there's something else works here, and maybe it doesn't. And the bottom line is, if while I'm alive, I'm helping set the guidelines for this JWownness, there's a thing here. It's made out of healing across all kinds of spectra. It's exquisite. You know, I've been working to tell folks about Planet JWoww. Okay, I'm so done. I'm not trying to coerce anyone. It is exquisite to have a languaging roll around in the deepest cavities of your existential body with no divisiveness in it. And that's deliberate. It is off the chart to get to do that. The beloveds who come here learn Liwi. They learn language. They grow into it. It's not even a learning. You grow into it because it's a calibrated event. I'm thinking I may need to stand on my mat for my feet. I'm learning to take care of myself because I'm worth taking care, being taken care of, because y'all have said so. And that's a because. The alternative was that I didn't take care of myself. And I still don't take care of myself the way that I want to. And I'm so much better than I was. And I have reasons to be. I have reasons to be that are here on planet. My friends, my beloveds. They're the beloved ones out on the bridges, in the shuttles, on the satellites. I want somebody to build the app of my life because I'm living an app. People literally look at me now. Like, people I don't even know are using the word hyperbolic. Okay. I just like, which I just love. I love. Yes, my life is hyperbolic. Back to the 4 M's. Thank you, Rainey. Back to the 4 M's. Mainstream, mountain, margin, and a skin of magic in whatever shape. It's a skin in whatever shape is needed, and it will fit with its notness, because that's how that works. A day without sunshine is like, well, night, right? Okay, it's like it's one of those. Joy, wisdom, opportunity, and wonder. I was just looking up at what you've written earlier, Joe. I was in a place to look. Thank you. Soul seeding, yes. This is our tribe, beloveds. Joe, Rainey. I'm talking to our tribe. Whoever gets to this video, there's a place here where if you resonate, as you resonate, when you ride the resonance of diversity, empowerment, integrity, tribe, and that is specifically individuationality, innovation, and intimacy, and global view. If you ride those, if you ride that resonance, there's a whole world here set up to nourish the fuck out of what you're envisioning that's good for, like that is in alignment with a culture of globality. Like, you're one of the folks who are getting it early. It's where we're going to wind up, folks. People are going to have sex. People across all kinds of cultures are going to have sex. It's not miscegenation. It is an exquisite, multifaceted diversification of spheres of culture, or realms of culture. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Rainey. If I forget to say, I'm going out. And if either one of you wants to come on, you are welcome to. I can get you. Yeah, why don't I do that? I'm just going to put the invite. I'm starting to think of these times now on streaming as meeting and getting to know our global tribe. That's how I'm holding this. That the ones who are here are really here, and so I get to reach out, and no one will get hurt by the intensity of my energy, or the size, the breadth, the depth, the heights of my vision. I won't be blowing people's circuits because I'm not directly in front of them. I'm directly in front of their isness. I'm not directly in front of their physicality, which is the thing that I blow. Right? It's fantastic. This technology is fantastic. Talk about being born at the right time. Oh my word. Okay, here, let me go over to Slack. And then where are we? I'll put it in, everybody in source endorse. You got up in there. Where do y'all want me to put this? I'll just put it in 2 places. Here we go. Do that. Hold on. Gotta get the right keyboard. There's that. And then do this. Right there in the big message thing. Okay, I'm back. I'm not looking for y'all to, and if you want to, you are welcome to come on the screen. We can talk. This is my time. I feel like I've been doing the call energetically. So this is a call. This is my call. There's a woman on, young woman, pretty, of course. And I say that with like dressed the right ways, because that works particularly in this thing. I am so delighted that rawness and realness and purpose and mission are coming into vogue when you've got who is it, BTK, is that right? Oh please, I want to get them right. They are so wonderful, these young beings. I think they go by men, I'm not sure. And I think it's called K-pop, Korean pop. Anybody want to help me with that and help me get it right? I want to, because their whole thing is they've got all the biggest band in the world or some kind of craziness like that. It's just so beautiful. And their stuff is about positivity and coming together and being whatever you are. And, they see something going wrong for somebody and they tell all their fans, hey, you in that area, they need blah. And, boom, and cool stuff happens. And I'm just like, see that? That's power. For real. When it feels good to do good, you do more good, and you make a whole bunch of people feel good and feel like they rose, super they rose. THEYROS. I'm done with the she-he. I don't feel like dealing with it. So they rose, y'all. Which works great. Been using it, been writing it. Works like a charm. I was like, no more history or herstory. Both of them sort of sit on my last nerve. Because we no longer live in a binary gendered world. Yippee! We get to be, I don't know, Yeah, get to be that. Right? Unless you have some reason to know what I'm doing with my parts, why do you care? Like, that's the part that gets me. Seriously, unless you have some legit reason to want to know what I do with my parts when, why do you care? Right, exactly. And I'm saying, y'all who are riding this resonance, especially this one tonight, because this is what, like, acing your initiation sphere feels like. You've been shook. I could spend a month in a region tank right about now. Okay. And acing it at this rate means any landing where you do the your best not dying, your worst not dying. Any landing where you do your worst not dying is a good landing. Okay. Because your worst not dying means you're not dead. Almost did, it still didn't. Almost didn't, it still did. Y'all. And for those of you who have not lived at that edge, let me tell you something. It is a clear line. It is a clear line. Ain't nothing fuzzy about that shit at all. And I got 2 people online right now who are probably just nodding their heads going, right? There's this whole existential place that I've been in, and that it's not that I'm coming out of it, it's like it's becoming home, because this is where the whole planet gets to be. I've been at this my whole life in some ways. I've been actively at this for the past 4.5 going on 5 years. 5 years, 6 years. 6 years. Yeah, because it's like a year and a half before Ronnie Jean came, so like 6 years. Ronnie Jean's 4.5. I've been looking for real to come together outside of me, and real is to come together inside of me, because everybody inside languages my reality. And I live this multi-docs. And the ones who get that languaging, they're like, whoa, 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 multi-docs. Oh, whoa, whoa. Like, I love, okay. I tell people it's a sport, and then I do it to them. And watching them delight in my delight at watching them get shit fast, and watching them go, okay, yeah, that felt badass. Right? That feeling, being able to give someone that for being aligned enough with someone that they respect, that that person would play a game with them about, remember, this is a lemniscate and it's dynamic. And so I get to play with and learn from you, even as I augment your growth a little here, a little there, tuck this, remember, da da da, right? Be the, when invited to be the me for me that I would have wanted, and seeing in someone who can help me be better than me that I would have wanted to be for me, and then getting to say to them that the reason why that they get to play this particular part of the game with me is because they so very much remind me of me at their whatever age, stage, whatever the thing is, where it's we are riding this resonance with us. We are riding this resonance. We are carrying this culture together. We are feeding our freedom together. We're doing that. Okay, when I have that with everyone on planet J. Wow. Most of the world doesn't have that with their spouse or partner. folks to have that with their everybody. These folks are my friends, and they love us very, very, very much. And they work really, really hard beside us. They work very, very, very smart beside us, and they are driven. So lots happens around them. Let's say it that way. We're figuring out how to be together in something that we're starting to call aggregation. It's not unification. It's not certainly integration. It's aggregation as a sensation. I don't know if we'll stay with that word, and that's the sensation. It's a chosen agency. The agency is what makes it an aggregation instead of a congregation or even a congregation. Oh, this is going to be so much fun. Aggregation is the togetherness. What kind of togetherness is it? I'm fascinated that con is both with and against. Truer words were never spoken. Okay. When you identify as with, you are separate, which can be against at any moment because we all have agency. And so instead of pretending that like things are forever, if you just go ahead and exercise your muscles on a regular basis and choose things, then you slowly, at your own pace that feeds your own soul, wind up choosing the powers that feed you, the powers from which you seed, into which you root, so that you can seed a power that is idiosyncratically your own in some sort of, way. I want to play with folks who will watch this and they're going to want the verbatim transcript from us because they don't want to miswrite anything because they want to take the code apart that I'm speaking in. See, when I said I left these Easter eggs about building a global culture everywhere, they're in every single video that I've done. Every single one from my very first Facebook video. Every single one. There's something there. There's something there to unpack in the now, and you'll recognize it because it looks like the future, because it is, except it's set up to augment the seeds of now. It's there. I put it there. I cannot begin to tell you how much fun this is. Okay, I'm living the game that I've talked about living. I'm like actually in it in this moment. I'm having the game moment. Oh, let's see what you got. You find yourself riding your resonance, already discovering accelerated upgrades in your language perceptions of what is possible by watching this. And have hands, feet to bring and support. Connect with JWoww to see where you can connect with Planet JWoww. Connect with Planet JWoww. It's all caps. It's Planet JWoww, and then it's the capital J, capital W, small O, capital W, period. They want to make me have a last name? Kiss my ass. Period is my last name. So I put my full name everywhere because I always went by Julie Woods. So now I'm going by JWoww. Period. Yep. It's like really. Other way around. Linda, hi, sweetheart. It's planet upper and lower case, and then it's JWoww all caps.com for the planet. Anything with me is exactly what you wrote for the JWoww and the period. And I did it that way for two reasons, because it's true. It's like, if you want sugar-coated, if you want something sugar-coated, go buy a fucking donut. I'm not the person to talk to. I'm not the set of beings to talk with. Right? There's bottom line, and then there's the dot At the end of the bottom line, it's like that. In my prayer, I don't say aho, I say that. Whatever it is that you said, because I will let myself absorb some of it, so I know some of it I didn't catch, whatever that was, I simply say that. You know, and I want to learn that in a whole bunch of languages. And that'll be another prayer of globality. Oh, of course, I know you knew that, sweetheart. Whenever you do something different, I always look at it first. I don't dismiss it. It's either there's a reason, or if I look at it, it's like no. Then it's like no. We're sticking with that. That's something that's said. I have thought of doing that, and it's like no, that's not. You know, it's about joy, wisdom, opportunity, and wonder. That's why it's all caps, because they're all equal. In my name, that's Julie Wood's one word, with the emphasis on the word. Whereas people would say Julie Wood's one long-assed word. That was yes. Joe. Law is also long-assed word. I'm realizing in the middle of my name. No. We were going to have a one-word camp at Burning Man. Oh, and by the way, we are going to have Planet JWoww camp at Burning Man. I don't know what it takes to do that, and that's happening. So those who know how to do that, and I know a bunch of people who do, I would love for you to consider playing. I want to come into the deep the nourishment for the tribe that comes from Planet JWoww camp being there. That was my understanding of Burning Man, because I came with the Vegas Vortex Fire Tribe, and we built the first lemniscated alchemical fire circle to Burning Man, and I got to be the gate builder and keeper. Gate weaver, not even gate builder, gate weaver, because people who build things, they built the gate. And then I got to weave the gate in what they built. They put things up so that I could do the thing that I needed to do. It was beautiful. It was my first Burning Man. Off the chart. Yeah. You know, it's going to be, I'm starting to do the sun thing now, because now I got to get my skin. I've gotten myself acclimated to the heat, and now it's dropping weight and getting in the sun. We were through the night, and I literally, yes, through the night, and they built the gate, and then they gave me all the rope I wanted. Between stage stuff and kink stuff, I had all the rope of any kind in practically any color that I wanted, and I just wove gates and walls around our sacred fire circle. I think about that. Like, these are the stories I want to tell, right? These are the ones I want to tell. Like they sound like hyperbole, except they happened. Like, I love these really wild ass stories of people's bios. The intersecting stories are ones that I love as well. And there's a way of telling stories now, because we have a languaging that is diversive. Diversal, that's what I wanted. Diversality, there we go, is diversal. There we go, diversality. See, it's the ality that claims it, reality. It's the ality that makes a thing a space for into which something can grow and in which it occurs. That's a good one. I'm gonna hold on to that one. there's a there's a living into the center of the thing and then out in this flow inside of imaginal cells that have even with their imaginality, which is not imagination, even with their imaginality, and yes, that's a thing, imaginal cells are a thing, they have a common mission flow. It's not necessarily a common mission. It's an alignment in a general direction, however that happens. And that allows for individuationality. That allows for individuation. And, oh, and by the way, with the languaging, I am absolutely picking the words that are building the thing. So, because that's how we're building the bridges. We're not taking all of their words. We're taking the ones with which I, at this point, sensoriate and resonate, that I sensoriate and with which I resonate, because I'm that imaginal template of discernment for the planet that I am choosing to generate. In my case, it's with calling people who love to explore their power in ways that have some seeding and safety and welcome. And they get to discover other that dances well with them. And sometimes they choose to stay. There, what are 6, 7, 8, 9, something like that, folks who've chosen to stay or visit frequently. Folks who are already bridging here. And this here, this here is it's a space where we get to connect in with folks who are linearly logical, who have a creative and or matrix. They have a matrix access port with which we exquisitely connect. And that lets us share things that are nonlinear with them and have them be accurately and robustly converted to a linearity that is accessible. And that gets to be a sentence. And if you heard that sentence and went, oh my God, like that's me, said really yummily, okay, we are doing such cool shit over here. And when I say doing it, we're seeding into doing things, because what I've done is I've chosen to bring the things forward. And now I'm discovering that I have hands. So I'm able to do, and I'm starting to focus. I'm starting to be able to focus, which means I'm starting to be able to write books that need to be written. I'm starting to be able to finish the things that I put placeholders in my own life for. I have total recalled my whole life. I have predestinationed. Thank you, Ethan Hawke on the latter. Thank you, first Schwarzenegger and then Colin Firth on the former. Cool shit, sacred, healthy, intimate teachings. Absolutely, that's exactly right. Okay. I'm living into bridged realms that I bridgineered and then left. Find myself back in these realms, except I'm in another space, and yet it's these realms in this multidimensionality, this multi-docs that I'm living, that I carry, that I'm reveling in, right? It is yummy to carry this much data and be able to make connections and leaps across it. It's exquisite to be inside dimensions that cross senses. Some people talk about synesthesia. It's that, and that is absolutely a thing, and it is part of, I believe, a more nuanced and actually more oft occurring event for humans than we name. And in the not naming this part of it, because we name other parts of it, we name it, sometimes it's meditation, or sometimes it's sacred ecstasy, or something, whatever the thing is. And there's a yesness to both of those. It's this thing at the center of all of those rhythms where we go from taking care of ourselves into our sovereignty. Because right at the edge, insecurity on the humanity journey, look it up. On the humanity journey, right at the edge of sovereignty, there's contiguous security for self happens first. The capacity to generate as well contiguous security for other is the full definition of that step over the Rubicon into sovereignty. What will it take to get the word out? That's not what I want to ask. It's what my mainstream self thinks to ask. It's not what I want to ask. How do we call the beloveds who are already building their parts of their sectors of the bridges that we're building, knowing that we can feel them as a yearning for a space, a thing, a something, a connecting, and this gets to be a global call, and it gets to be easeful, exquisite. Cambridge Analytica does it through data. How do we do it? Through feeling. Now, I found a friend's house once, brand new friend, found her house by feeling her resonance in the area and got to her neighbor 2 doors away. Had never been in that section of Cambridge before. You can feel your way into, you know, you can feel your way into truth. You can feel when things, when we allow ourselves, we often can feel when things are authentic, and particularly when that's something that we practice, right? Which practice into praxis into isness. Yeah. There's a system here, and we're using it. And it's starting to have its pieces flow in. And I feel like the aligned folks that create a safety for me, around me, for now, for us now, I feel like those folks are almost here. After, I think, October is when I think that that's going to feel like we've got the 3-part density in everything. So, because that's our safety, is making sure that we are, in fact, as redundant and cross-pollinated as we can possibly be. It's not what we're territorial about, and protectively so, is the excellence of what we want to bring to folks with what we do and how we do it and how we share it. That's that's what I'm living. This is not, I don't want to market. I want people to find us, and I want to put out an energetic call, and people are starting to do that. That's what I want, and that's what's happening. And part of what's hard for me is that it's taking linear time, because I can feel them. Like I feel folks, and I'm like, I literally start talking with people years before. I'm like, you're going to be on whatever the thing is that I'm building. And, and I literally, and then now they're coming. And that's all documented. I mean, that's there in writing, in Facebook and other places, right? I've been writing this thing with my life as the steering for the lives of the people who come to this thing that I now call a planet, that I built on the soar, in a bunch of galaxies all at once. It's going to be a great game. Like, when we finally get the app for this, it's going to be off the chart. A few surprises. What, in general? Oh no, I'm in surprise land. I am building a home on the soar in surprise land at this point. I have absolutely no idea of what I'm doing or what is next, including this video and what I'm saying. I'm letting myself, hi folks, this is what it looks like when I download. I'm figuring it out. I'm making it up. I really mean that. I'm figuring it out and I'm making it up. And because I get to do that, because y'all have made it safe, you, with the help of, my Planet JWoww beloveds, they have made this place, this Planet JWoww place, is a real place that I get to be. It's a virtual space. It's the room that I am in. It is the virtual physical spaces that I occupy, because I occupy space in other people's lives. Like, that gets to be part of this truth. Oh, yes. So, I want to make sure that I have water at the beginning of every time that we come together. So if whoever's watching this, if you're ever watching a live, if you don't see anything in our exchanges where someone's talking about water, please just like raise your hand and say, JWoww, do you have water? Right? And that will help y'all. I'm stepping into, y'all want to know how to take care of me so that I can nourish you, because that's what I want to do. I want to support you and nourish you and be, if it's appropriate in your roots, so that you get what you need from me to get to your greatness, your goodness and your greatness together. Like, that's what I want. I don't want to do the work. I want you to do the work. I just want to be here to be whatever it is that you called me for. My assumption is that our games have come together. 5, 5, 5, 5. I got to see that. I never get to see that. That was fabulous. That's sacred, 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 sacred. That was fantastic. This is my fire circle. Does that make that water bottle with the blue light water cleaner? Do they make that water bottle with a blue light water cleaner? I don't know what that means. Don't know. If you can, if you want to put up something that's a link for it, please do. Put that up in Slack. Yeah, because I don't know anything about the company, so we'll put it in Slack, and I'll take a look at it. Please remind me there, and thank you. Thank you, Linda. This is meant to be us coming around the sacred global fire. It's electronics, folks. That's fire. That's harnessed fire. So this is my electronic, my global fire circle. That, and thinking about it that way, like, this is where I can come and I tell whatever stories I feel like telling, because what I'm talking about is I want folks to get a sense of what JWoww means as an embodiment: joy, wisdom, opportunity, and wonder. What that is, what I'm meaning with that in this cornucopious, dynamic, filling some, as opposed to fulsomeness, so it's dynamicness. What is that? And what does it get us? Right now, what it gets us is supporting Sovereign Rhythm Sanctuary, that's hosting our introductory classes and setting up a platform and helping us fundraise and helping me feel the fruits of success that I've seeded in so many places. Success being me being able to be symbiotically aligned with the culture that I inhabit, that is built out of more than what is enclosed in my meat sack. There are other beings out there who contribute to the space, and yet the space remains safe for me because of a whole slew of elemental ingredients that we're defining and working with, so that this is something that is replicable and adaptable, and it's an adaptogen in a positive way, so that it's nourishing in any culture that would be aligned with JWoww. It will be nourishing. It may be divergently aligned, and it's aligned. So Yeah, that's and again, straight out of some sort of game, because this is a game, and that's exactly what's happening. And it's happening in people's lives, and it's documented, and I'm seeing it and I'm watching it. And that's part of what I want to share here. Like, I'm looking at Heidi Kapari over at Dream Tank. Okay, dreamtank.co. And she's working with kids who are building, they're bridgineering by my languaging. They're bridgineering world we're going to live in. It's pretty wonderful. Apps that are making a difference and thinking about the earth as an organism that we're a part of, yummy, sexy, and how it's cool to be smart. And these are kids building this stuff for other kids. Dreamtank.co, absolutely. Heidi Kapari, I've had some exquisite experiences with, and I'm going to ask her if she will come speak with me in a thing. Like maybe on one of these, and I'll do it earlier. Yeah, like I want to start talking with people. And I know that that's probably a video cast. So if y'all want me to turn this into a video cast and someone wants to run that, I think it's $49 a month or something like that over at Podetize, Podetize. That's where I want to do my video cast. And if we come up with a certain amount of money a month, I think it's about $2,000 a month. The founders and owners 7-8 years ago looked at me and said, "You're not there yet, and when you get there, it's going to be amazing, and you just stick with what you're doing." And now here they are doing a thing. They want to work with me. I want to work with them, and they will help me put these video casts all over the world. That would be fun. They'll get behind it and push. Let's do that. What do I need to do that thing? And see, I can hear my own voice going up. Ew. That's that scarcity crap. Speaking up. Screw that. Yeah. So, like, one of the things that I'm hoping is that Heidi and her team, ranging in age from I think 11 to 80 something, would find what Planet J.W. is doing. Yeah, it is happening. It's already happening. This is something that is so big that I needed to seed it, 6 years ago. All of this, I'm realizing that I haven't been lying to people. Like people are like, oh, J.W., you always have the next big idea. I remember Stuart Q Public said that to me. Robert Reeder said it to me. And that hurt so much. And he was right. And now I see that I've been seeding things across decades and continents. And now I have things. I just thought of something. Steve Harrison. I need to get a list of the people to whom I'm connected. If someone could please let Rhiannon know. That's a list I need to put together now. Now. It's time. Wow. I just watched a whole bunch of gates and doors go just open up. Wow. I carried everything that I could carry. And then I built this planet out of what I had with me. And I mourned when I had to leave. And I left it. I was like, I got to go do this thing. And now here I am. And folks are showing up. And I've got connections that other people can use. That's what I want to do. That's what I want folks to do. Let's share that and get things done. and build good things and have people live into those. I have no intention of making those things fit into some other thing. I want to build a thing that those things can fit into, because we have a languaging that's fundamental to this, that is calibrative. And that's important. It's important that things be calibrated so that they can be aligned. Thanks. Steve Harrison is the marketing genius behind Chicken Soup for the Soul. And he walked up to Jack Canfield, Chicken Soup for the Soul, to introduce me as his shaman. I was so honored. Thanks. Linda, thank you so much. I'll be glad when, or let me stop saying I'll be glad when other people come. It's that I don't want to burn you out. And it just tickles me the way that you step up. It's exquisite. Thank you. I get to live this thing. When I talk about living my game, so I wanted to have a life where I would be like talking at a thing or at a gathering or from a stage or something, and I would simply say things, and I could turn to literally the people to whom I'm speaking and go, somebody out there, get to the system and take care of blah, and then keep talking. And know that a whole series of memes or something would happen, and I'd find out about it in a report later, and it was be handled. I'm living that dream, and I have quote unquote no reach, and I have quote unquote no audience according to the metrics of the mainstream, and yet I have a tribe. I will see your metrics and raise you a tribe. I'm going to make things worthy of y'all wanting to invest and gift vest your, whatever your currency of power is, whatever your cop is, to invest that in sharing what it is that, it's not sharing, it came up with something else. There we go. With sharing what it is. It's a whole system of creating around you the environment into which you want to grow. So one of the easiest ways to do that is when you find something that inspires you, myself included, or ourselves included, when you seed that into the environment immediately around you by letting folks know what it is that's lifting you up, when it lifts them up, then you have more commonalities. See, back to the alleys, more commonalities to share. That's gift vesting into your own idiosyncratic future, because you get to be lifted up by them instead of perhaps being put down by them. Yeah, this is fantastic. Is what this is. All right. I think that's it. That's it for now. I'll come back, and I'm figuring out why I'm here. Why am I talking to y'all? Please help me know why I'm talking to y'all, because this is exactly where I'm supposed to be. I don't care whether I'm crazy or not, and I don't think that I am. I make sense. We have things that we can do together. I'm looking forward to finding the folks who want to hear what it is that we see and want to enter into a conversation about how we're doing it. Because we're already doing the things that I see, how we do them better with more robustness and more yum and more fun and more reach. Although reach where love is prevailing in how that reach occurs. So yeah, there's a lot here. We'll figure it out. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Those of you who come and spend time here. I see the connecting. I see the dream tank building the app, and building an app where wisdom keepers get to be part of the app, and it builds out. It's like Westworld, except it's JWoww world. And there's room here, and then they can license that out so that there are other worlds and they get built out, and there's something AI/organic about it all. And I don't know what that means, and I can know what that means in the right conversation. So yeah. Yep. Okay. Thank you so much, sweet ones. Hide thee to bed when it's your turn. And I'm going to do that. And thank you. I'm JWoww of Planet JWoww, and we are a tribe-sourced human. This is our legend that we're building together, sweet ones, and it is exquisite. Thank you so much. Sticking to it. Y'all take good care. Have a great night. See you soon. Until soon. Thank you, everyone.